I was trying to summarize and
I know you were. I could see it.
I'm sorry.
And I'd have totally gone for it too.
Yeah, I was like, maybe next time you should bring in the wife so we can.
Right, you were trying to get all of it in. I know.
Yeah.
This is the hard part because this happens in real session, you know, where suddenly it's like, oh crap, somebody's, you know, about to come and I've got to wrap this up and, you know, that kind of thing. So you did a really nice job. You had a really nice, very nice, genuine response to the client's loss. You're really kind of, it's not that everybody's been like, great, a miscarriage, but you had this really nice kind of like, oh, I'm really sorry. Like it was very heartfelt and very sort of such a natural response. So that was really good. You're very kind in the way that you kind of connected to him. So that was really, really good. You do a great job with minimal encouragers. So sort of like, you know, oh yeah, okay, oh good, or whatever. Like I can tell that you can tell that you're paying especially at the beginning, really close attention, did a good job there. You did a good use of paraphrasing, moving toward feeling exploration. So you paraphrased what you heard, then you moved him specifically into sort of that feelings and sort of talking about those. So I like that. You also didn't assume too early that you knew how he felt. You were easily working with him to figure out what it was that he felt, and I like that because you can't assume what he's feeling. So you did a good job with that. You started with interpretation, which was nice, and I think at least that's what I thought I was seeing was when you suggested maybe there were some communication problems going on, and I could tell by the way that you were asking questions it was your hypothesis that you were digging away at, and I think you were on with that. Be careful not to deliver it like problem solving though, because you were a little more direct with it than I probably would have been. Yeah, I might have been a bit more kind of like, you know, I'm just because you almost made it sound like, well, this is what's happening, and I would only remember the tray of hors d'oeuvres. Take it if you want, don't if you don't. You know, maybe this is what you're feeling. So, you know, be a little less, you know, sure about that. You had good exploration of client supports. I think you're the only person that's asked that so far. So that was really good. You were concerned about him and sort of how who he's talking to. So that's incredibly important. And quite frankly, he's your client. You know, everybody's been asking about her, but it's like, well, how's he doing? What's he got going on? And this is the standard. I mean, yes, she's lost a baby, but so is he. So, you know, really good job with that. You also want to make sure to ask direct questions. So what started happening, I think, is you were getting nervous because I could sense it was when you were starting to get lost. And once you got nervous, it was like it derailed. Like at the beginning, you were dead on and you were hitting everything you needed to, and then you got nervous. And so your questions, what was going on is, I think what you were asking.
I think it became repetitive.
It did become repetitive. It was almost like you weren't listening to what he was saying. You were coming up with your next question. There was also, it was kind of interesting. I think what you were asking, or you were trying to ask him was, how long ago did she have the miscarriage? But you were asking it very strange. And he was confused. Like he was kind of like, she's been acting that way since the miscarriage. Like I was just kind of like,
trying to figure out how long she's been acting like this towards him.
But it was like but then you kind of asked in a roundabout way, but it wasn't as direct. And I think what you were looking for was how long ago did she have the miscarriage? And it's okay to ask that. I mean, he's this.
I never thought about how long in months or weeks it has been since it's happened. So I'm just trying to avoid a number. So that's probably why I look
You're
confused.
like, oh my God, what's the answer?
Like,
but you know what? I want that. I want your genuine response. If you're confused about something, that's how they feel. That's how clients feel. And so what it indicates is it's a strange questioning pattern that I want them to be aware. And I think what happens, you have a desire to not be super direct, but yet at other times you are very direct. So it's kind of interesting. It's like certain questions you feel like are off limits, and then other questions you tend to deliver in a really direct style.
I didn't know it would be like appropriate to ask how long they've lost their child. I don't want to bring any.
I know, you don't want to make him hurt, and I understand, but that's what we do. That's why it's different. That's why it's clinical conversation, because he's bringing it into you. And if there's any place he's allowed to hurt, it's right here, and it's okay. And you don't have to be afraid. Like people, they're not China dolls. He's not gonna break down and be sad or cry or be upset about losing his baby and then never be able to walk out of this office and go to Kroger. He will figure out how to do that, and you just be present with him, and you be okay with that. So it's okay. Don't feel like you have to distance him on that. As far as the skills go, you were just beginning summarization. Just beginning it. I know. So I'll probably give you partial on that, but you talked to me about it in the video, okay? I did not see communicating feelings of immediacy. So you could have said, you know what, I'm kind of worried about you. I'm worried about how this is affecting you, and maybe people aren't talking to you as much about it. They're sort of focused on her, or something like that. You could have said, giving information, which I'm assuming you would have summarized and done your giving information. So we didn't get to that. The enlisting cooperation, you already have kind of an inclusive style in the way that you deliver, because again, I think you do have it's almost like you sense an innate respect that you need to give to people. And I think that's going to serve you very well. I think it's very kind, but at the same time, like I said, there are times when I feel like you come in maybe a little too direct. So you're going to need to balance those. I think that your instinct is really good as far as not getting too intrusive from a respect position, but also recognizing that with clinical engagement, it does look a little different. Just because because he's a stranger and you wouldn't do that in a social setting doesn't mean that you don't do that in a clinical setting. Okay, so a little bit different there. But overall, I think you did pretty good. I want you to look at that announcement. So go in there and really think about what those skills are. Where did you see them? Even if all you did was attempt them, kind of do that. I think you also got confronting, which other people haven't been as easy to do. So that was really good that you managed to throw that in there. So talk to me about where you saw those things, and I'll see what we can do as far as partial. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks. Nice to meet you.
See, you made it. I knew you would.